Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. In 2025, I hope to be more humble and speak up for myself and ask for help more. I think this past year there were a lot of things that could have turned out a lot better had I spoken up. The first thing that immediately comes to mind is that I didn't ask for as much time off as I really should have. We have this kind of discretionary time off policy at work. And you know what? I cursed that at my last job. At my last job at a different college, we had this policy of we were allowed to quote unquote donate our vacation time to other colleagues who needed it. And I often got bullied into donating vacation time. Well, guess what? I'm still doing it, except we don't call it vacation donation anymore. We just call it discretionary, and I take very little of it. Other people take a lot. It's the same effect. Um, and I don't even get any credit for it nowadays, right? I need to stop doing that. So, for example, I attempted to schedule some time off for a meaningful holiday for me, and I know it's not a traditional holiday, but one of my students was very nice to me, and I canceled the time off. Right, that's not an unusual circumstance to me. I did take some time off to go see a solar eclipse, and then I took one more day off to go to a social outing. I've learned a little bit of a secret. I have a hard time with lying about what I'm planning to take the time off for, right? I feel funny when I lie. It's kind of like a Pinocchio effect, except my nose doesn't grow, but internally, I feel funny. But I find that I've convinced myself that going out to look for my future spouse is just like a family outing. So I've convinced myself that it's okay to go to work and say, hey, I got a family event next Saturday or whatever the situation is, and not feel funny about it. I could probably pass a polygraph exam doing that because I've convinced myself that looking for that future spouse is just like any other family event, just like attending a wedding or a birthday party of a family member. So that's one hack that I'll definitely make a lot of use of. I was dealing with COVID 19 during a heat wave, and I got into a lot of struggles trying to take care of that by myself. But you know what? I had a workplace that was really supportive at the time. I probably could have reached out to somebody there and had some more resources to deal with that. At my last living arrangement, I got into significant difficulty with my landlord. I mean, I did make mistakes, but my biggest mistake was not putting my foot down when I needed to. So we had some water damage, and I was Mr. Nice Guy throughout the whole thing. I continued to pay my rent early, and also before the water damage, the reason that the landlord was already so upset during the water damage was that before the water damage happened, there was a time when I was heartbroken and my room became a disaster. Now, by disaster, I mean things strewn about. Nothing damaged, or I didn't mark up the walls or do anything like neglect the place. No, I just had uh, stuff all over the place. I was working with Legos, I had art supplies all over the place. Now, my landlord wouldn't have gotten wind of that except that one time she needed to go to the room to get to a breaker box or something, and she complained about the room, and like the Mr. Nice Guy I am, I rushed in there to clean up in 30 minutes, and I came out to explain that my heart has been broken in recent times, and I really didn't have to do that. It's like, hey, my room's not damaged, right? I should have put my foot down. And long story short, after the last incident and I left in a hurry and it's Christmas Day and I have nowhere to go. I took a lot of photographs because I lost all my trust with the landlord, but a lot of it I could have put my foot down. There were so many times I could have put my foot down. And the landlord I found, she she had a weird relationship with my girlfriend. What had happened was that after I had met my girlfriend and she came over for dinner one night. I used that as an after she left because I didn't want my girlfriend to hear this. I used it as an opportunity to tell my landlord how heartbroken I was the week before and how my room's in a much better condition. I didn't need to do that. It's my room. I wasn't damaging it. I had Legos strewn around. I mean, I don't think she had the right to complain about that. The Legos are all out now that I moved out, right? Does she have the right to complain about that? Here's a Lego art piece that I made of the Mondrian squares and a shogi board game set. Shogi pieces, Legos, paper strewn about. And so after I moved it out, I took photographs of it in case she wants to claim anything else. But I didn't put my foot down. So what that I had those things around, right? The fact that I was playing Mr. Nice Guy, defending myself for cleaning it up, I kind of took responsibility for the earlier mess, and I didn't have to do that. Alright, I hope to speak up for myself more and stop defending what I'm not doing wrong, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.